Presenting Guyana Timber Expo 2018 from May 18th to 20th at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence. Featuring exhibits from logs to lumber from top sawmillers, lumber yards, and exporters. Plus a vast range of value-added forest products available from Guyana's top producers. You'll also hear presentations by private sector, government agencies, and educational institutions. Homeowners, contractors, engineers, exporters, students, architects, everyone. Don't miss Guyana Timber Expo 2018, May 18th to 20th. Admission is free, so see you there.
For years, we've grown accustomed to using Green Heart, Purple Heart, and Kamikali for building and general construction. Now it's time to get acquainted with the lesser used species of wood in Guyana that are just as strong and durable, and they cost less too. Fukadi, Dali, Wadara, Itibali, Fuchui, and Kurokai can be used for furniture, interior and exterior joinery, broomsticks, light carpentry, and plywood. Limona Bali, Buruda, Murabakia, and Suya can be used for heavy construction, posts, bridges, decking, and doors, while Darina, Dakamabali, Itiki Borobali, and Wamara are great for flooring boards, parquet tiles, and wall paneling. Contact the Forest Products Development and Marketing Council of Guyana, the Guyana Forestry Commission, and the Forest Producers Association for information on lesser used wood species, their uses, and costs before building.
Presenting Guyana Timber Expo 2018 from May 18th to 20th at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence. Featuring exhibits from logs to lumber from top sawmillers, lumber yards, and exporters. Plus a vast range of value-added forest products available from Guyana's top producers. You'll also hear presentations by private sector, government agencies, and educational institutions. Homeowners, contractors, engineers, exporters, students, architects, everyone. Don't miss Guyana Timber Expo 2018, May 18th to 20th. Admission is free, so see you there.
Welcome and thank you for joining us once again as we continue this conversation on the Guyana Timber Expo 2018. And of course, it's only a few hours away that this Timber Expo will be going right into action. Right now, there's a hub of activity at the Providence Stadium where all of the stakeholders, the private sector persons, the government agencies are putting together their exhibits to amaze you over the 3 days. With us on this program, we have two esteemed guests. Mr. Kenny David and Ms. Simone Beckles will be joining us in this conversation. And of course, they'll be sharing with you some of the hype that's happening right now at the stadium, as well as some of the things that you can look forward to on these 3 amazing days of the Guyana Timber Expo. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Simone, I know that you're GRA representative and GRA will have a face out there over the 3 days. What are some of the things that you plan to offer persons visiting the Timber Expo?
Well, Laura, thank you very much for having me on this program. And of course, GRA will be there. And GRA is about taxes. And of course, we expect a target group that will want to find out in terms of costs. What are some of the taxes that they will have to pay when they purchase a piece of lumber or finished product, a piece of furniture, etc. We may have some exporters there or persons who plan to export these products, and so they would want to know in terms of what benefits and relief that they could get. GRA currently is looking at amnesty, so persons may want to tap in on that and not necessarily base their focus on the Timber Expo. You know, at GRA we manage more than 20 tax types, and so it will be a fun 3 days, and persons could expect a lot from the Guyana Revenue Authority.
As well, of course, as the other agencies who are involved in this. Mr. David, could you share some of the other agencies that persons can expect to see out there at the Timber Expo?
Sure. Thanks, Laura. I think in addition to GRA, we'd have for example, the EPA, one very important agency because forest operations, it always has an environmental component, and so it'd be good to have a first-hand chat with the EPA to understand some of the things they have to comply with. We have the NIS and of course insurance and ensuring salaries and workers are paid as they're supposed to. The GGMC, the GFC, of course, be there. We have the Ministry of Social Protection, because again, all these agencies that are involved in some way, shape, or form in terms of what happens in forests and forest products. So, in addition to those, we're going to have quite a few agencies. So, I would say come out, take the opportunity to have a direct chance to chat with persons who come. We're bringing persons that are sort of in the know. They have the knowledge and they're willing to share it. All you have to do is show up, talk to them. They will let you know what's happening and then how you can be able to benefit from, ensure you're compliant with the requirements, even as part of this timber sector.
Oh, great. And expanding markets for Guyanese timber products through public education, awareness, and sensitization to promote a greener Guyana, the theme for the Guyana Timber Expo 2018. With respect to a sensitization, education, who are some of the persons on site that will be, giving all of this? Who do you expect to come and benefit? Apart from, the general public, let's get some specific organizations, agencies, institutions.
Sure. I think we're pretty excited because what we've tried to do is really bring sort of under one roof, as it were. The sort of full gamut of activities that are involved in forests and all the way from the forest in that sense to the market as far as is possible. So what persons will have a chance to be exposed to would from the educational aspect as well, because we have the Guyana School of Agriculture that will be there, we have the University of Guyana that will be there, but we'd also have persons who are demonstrating various aspects of the work that is happening in the sector. We in fact even have people that are going to be cutting and profiling lumber on site, which I think for many persons, we tend to often see the finished product, but we don't always understand what happens at the processing site. And so I think to get an appreciation of what is involved and just how difficult it is sometimes to get that finished product and to get it done right. One of the things, I think one of the things that affected our sector a little bit is just doing it right. And so we've brought in persons, again, it's an experience to learn how to cut, how to cut for grade, how to do it better in that sense. And I think, persons who are in the sector are interested in getting involved as well. In addition to that, we have some seminar events that are planned where we're going to have various persons bringing information and discussing sort of in a more on-hand approach in terms of what is happening. So you'll get a chance to understand how timber grading, for example, how does it work? When we talk about grading timber, what are we looking for? What makes one piece better than the other? And there's also going to be, what are some of the key agencies that are like, CRAMA, for example, Conservation International. These are other international NGOs that are involved in forests and forest activities. They will also be sharing, on what they're doing and how persons can get involved in what they're doing, so that we understand, and I think to sort of see a more holistic view of forests. I think too often we see it in just, I'm doing my little thing in the corner here, but we need to have that sort of more holistic approach. I think it's an excellent opportunity for persons to come down and to really see it as an opportunity to learn. And of course, there's a lot of other products that will be there, value-added products and so on.
Yes.
That is going to be, So
I understand that there right now it's a buzz of activity on the ground. Can you, give the audience a sneak peek as to what a sneak peek, because I always say, you hear about it, we talk about it, you read about it. It's time for you to get the actual hands-on experience as to some of the exhibits that are up there. I know we have sawmillers, lumberyard dealers, and of course our value-added investors who are there. Can you do that? Give us a sneak peek.
I think if I can actually give a sneak peek, I think again there is a product to offer. I think we need I want persons to really understand that we have a product. Guyana has a product to offer. And firstly, to us as Guyanese, I think many of us have sort of moved away from timber and timber products because, again, when we're looking for a product, we can't really find it. I want to assure our viewers out there that this Timber Expo is the place to be. There are things there to see that we may not have seen before. There's a lot of guys that have been working on a number of new products using, as we mentioned earlier, lesser known species. And they're doing some amazing things. I've seen some value-added products, some cabinets and chairs and tables, even flooring and wall paneling. That is, it is better than anything I've seen, even if we've traveled abroad. And this is first-class Guyanese timber if I can put it this way, brought to perfection. So I think it is the place to be. We even have somebody that are bringing tables that are one of a kind. In fact, each table is actually, there's no two tables that are alike. I think it's something to see. It's going to be an amazing thing. I say come out, come and see what is going to be on display. And I said, the guy again, even lumber for construction and building. Different methods, we're sort of demonstrating also moving away from hammer and nails more to these nail guns. So get a feel, person get a chance, little sort of hands-on experiences to, the sector has moved a little forward. I think we as Guyanese need to begin to understand that we have a product to offer, and then we need to, I think, in the large way, support our own. So it's going to be a very exciting 3 days.
You talk about products, and Simone, I wanted you to take off your GRE cap and go from the perspective as a woman who is probably having your new home. What are some of the things you would want to go out there to see? What are some of the things you would want to have in your home or around your home that's made from timber?
Well, I think my husband should come with me so that he can help me to select these things. But of course, as a woman, let's say a woman, gender equality, every single thing. As a woman, I want to see different type of doors. I want to see front door, bedroom door, back door. I want to see the quality. I mean, I know that in Guyana we have potential. We have persons who could craft, who could do stuff. I hope I could see wood sculptures. I wanna not only see tables, but listening to Mr. David's talk, I just thought that we should get it out there in the presses and well, look, this is not only about wood, this is not only about trees, but you could come out there if you're thinking about investing, you might have the investment capital, you're thinking about starting up a business, then the Timber Expo is the place to be, because you have everything in one place. I mean, you have NIS, you have EPA, you have all these different agencies that Mr. Davis spoke about. So you could come and you could get you a little bit of information instead of you having to go to different places. So I think basically the planners,
it's a hot spot.
The planners really taught this process through to make things easy. I mean, you may have to get additional information, but what best place than to have it than to come to the Timber Expo? And in terms of me for my house, I want everything. I wish if every single thing could be made in Guyana.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you for that, Simone and Kenny. Let's go to a short commercial break.
Presenting Guyana Timber Expo 2018 from May 18th to 20th at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence, featuring exhibits from logs to lumber from top sawmillers, lumber yards, and exporters, plus a vast range of value-added forest products available from Guyana's top producers. You'll also hear presentations by private sector, government agencies, and educational institutions. Homeowners, contractors, engineers, exporters, students, architects, everyone. Don't miss Guyana Timber Expo 2018, May 18th to 20th. Admission is free, so see you there.
For years, we've grown accustomed to using green heart, purple heart, and kamikali for building and general construction. Now it's time to get acquainted with the lesser used species of wood in Guyana that are just as strong and durable, and they cost less too. Fukadi, Dali, Wadara, Itibali, Fuchui, and Kurokai can be used for furniture, interior and exterior joinery, broomsticks, light carpentry, and plywood. Limonabali, Buruda, Murabakia, and Suya can be used for heavy construction, posts, bridges, decking, and doors, while Darina, Dakamabali, Itikiborobali, and Omara are great for flooring boards, parquet tiles, and wall paneling. Contact the Forest Products Development and Marketing Council of Guyana, the Guyana Forestry Commission, and the Forest Producers Association for information on lesser used wood species, their uses, and costs before building.
Presenting Guyana Timber Expo 2018 from May 18th to 20th at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence, featuring exhibits from logs to lumber from top sawmillers, lumber yards, and exporters, plus a vast range of value-added forest products available from Guyana's top producers. You'll also hear presentations by private sector, government agencies, and educational institutions. Homeowners, contractors, engineers, exporters, students, architects, everyone. Don't miss Guyana Timber Expo 2018, May 18th to 20th. Admission is free, so see you there.
Welcome back. as we go into delve into our feature events activities that will be happening over the 2 days after the opening. Remember, tomorrow is when we have our opening from 4:30 to 10 p.m. in the evening. On Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. in the evening, and on Sunday, 10 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. in the evening. And over the period of Saturday and Sunday, along with the exhibits and the exhibitors who will be talking about their exhibits and showing their innovations, their innovative products that they have, helping to guide you in or navigate you in the decision making as to your purchases for your home, your building components. We'll also be having other exciting activities on the site in our seminar tents, where you'll be comfortably seated and exposed to a lot of information. I'm so excited. So, Mr. David, can you share with us some of those feature events and who will be conducting those events?
Sure. No, just when you said exciting events, I thought of the bouncy castle. I'll be there.
Yes, we will be having entertainment for the children.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well.
Yeah. So persons, because I think persons are thinking that this is a sort of a businessman's expo, and what do I do with the children? But just to note that we've thought of that as well. But certainly, you're going to come out on the weekend. You're going to bring the kids.
But,
there's something for that as well.
But just to note, even though it is a businessman's exhibit, I mean, we have some very serious people there, and whilst the children will be at the bouncy castles, there'll be a special area where persons can be conducting business and negotiating, maybe taking orders, etc. So let's go to those feature events.
Sure. As part of the we thought about sometimes the kinds of information persons want to, get a, sort of a direct access to, and one of the things that the Forestry Training Center, is one of the aspects of forestry that sometimes people are, it costs a lot sometimes to get the training done and so on. And we thought if we could sort of in some way condense some of that work, for example. So in terms of tree felling, GPS reading, timber grading, as I mentioned, what we've tried to do is put together a neat little package. Certainly it's a lot to get, you can't get all of it in that, but again, get an appreciation for what it is involved in proper tree felling. One of the things that we also noted, from being in the sector as well, is that sometimes even handling of timber, drying of timber products and so on, sometimes, again, to build the capacity to get, the knowledge, sometimes, it takes a lot to get the persons to come to you and train you. We've tried to, again, as far as possible, condense that. So we'll have some pretty key persons talking about, how to handle lumber, how to protect it, how to ensure it's dried properly.
Handling and quality control.
Exactly. Even for GPSs, I think sometimes people here, want to get into the business, and you hear you have to start taking GPS readings. They say, technology is not for them, and But I think we're gonna even provide a small course in terms of the GPSs, so you're gonna actually get a chance to have a GPS, to hold it, put it on, to understand what is involved in marking with that GPS, understanding how to read it. Again, sometimes it costs a lot to have that done for you if you had a smaller group somewhere. But here you're going to come, and it's free. You just come, you're part of that seminar. We'll obviously, on each booth we'll have when these events are happening. So you'll come and you'll have a chance to know, well, I want to be in this tent at this time, to be part of that. And then once you're there, we have some key persons who have the knowledge. I think also for export and export procedures, sometimes persons want to get into the business of export. They've been doing a lot of local business, and they get a market, but they think there's so much that they don't know. How do I export timber? What do I have to do? So we're bringing those persons. How do I get a license to export timber? We're bringing those people, and we're providing the training, again, free of cost. Just come, whatever session you think is going to be interesting, sit in those sessions, and again, you'll then have a chance, of course, to interact with those persons, because there may be some things that may not come out that you may want to know. And as Simon mentioned, even though you don't have all the information there, you're certainly creating the linkages.
Yes.
And those concerns that will raise, certainly we'll know how to get back to you. What are the concerns, and we can, then be able to address those as we move forward. So the featured events. I think another aspect that is also quite important is with the Ministry of Business. I think the Ministry of Business, in collaboration with the Guyana National Bureau of Standards, is doing an important training for contractors.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's talking about building codes and so on. I think which is very, very important. And I think, in fact, what we're hoping is that persons, other than specifically this sort of contractors group, all the persons need to know that there is a code, and what does it mean to have these codes put in place, and what will it mean for us homeowners and those of us who are interested in building houses. I think the knowledge is there. We want to make it available freely, but I think persons need to really seize the opportunity. And again, it's like sitting in a seminar and missing what's happening. And I think persons think I'm not coming here to sit in a tent all day and listen to somebody.
But
Preach,
there'll be a
if I could say
question and
that.
answer session,
Absolutely.
a very relaxed
Absolutely.
atmosphere where persons can, find out information and be able to develop that rapport so that they can basically build on other people's questions and benefit from other people's questions at that session.
Absolutely.
That's very interesting. Simone, any word on that?
Well, no, I'm just saying that, like I said, it's a clear thought out process, and persons shouldn't have an excuse to say, well, look, it's a weekend, I don't know what to do with my children. Come out. They're not only going to be Bouncy Castle, but I think there's a food court.
Absolutely.
Yes. So there's going to be food, so you don't even have to say, well, look, I have to cook. No, come out and let's see. I mean, like I always say, that the housing sector is developing, it's booming in Guyana. And so take the opportunity this weekend. Laura, I heard you said Friday is the opening session.
Yes, at
4:30. At 4:30, so persons can come.
For 2 hours.
Right. So after the 2 hours opening, then
you can walk around.
And see,
and engage with the persons who are exhibiting there, and touch everything and feel everything.
Absolutely.
So exactly. I mean, what is going to be exciting is in terms of the building code. Ever so often you hear persons complain about the contractors or they have a bad experience in terms of what a contractor would have done.
And if persons know about that out there, Simone, then they can know what to expect from the contractor.
Yes, exactly. So and so that's why I say that it's a well thought out process and stuff. So it's something that will be beneficial to Guyana, and I hope that this will not be the last one. I also hope, and I don't have on my GRA's hat here, right? So I also hope that these sessions will be recorded and they will be on the website, so that our Facebook page, so that persons could go and click on a link and look at it, because we will have those persons who did plan, but then the emergency came up, they couldn't make it. So we will be making sure that we cover.
And of course, we have that carnival audience out there who might be coming in.
We want to have the carnival people to come. Yes,
that's a big bonus for them.
Exactly, come and then go to Destron Spice. So we want them to come out there, because think about it, Laura. If we look, and I'm sure that if we thought about it, probably Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they could come and say in terms of the amount of application for immigrants that they would have received, they will be building, or they may have had a home in Guyana, right? So they could be refurbishing.
Absolutely.
And what better place than to be done at the expo this weekend?
Okay.
So
great.
yes.
All right. And we'll be wrapping up in just a few. Any final words out there? I know that tomorrow is the action day. There's a buzz of activity happening at the ground right now. Yeah. In fact, after here, we're speeding up there just so that we could just get it all right for you, prepare for you, and so that when you come, it's really an experience. And I like to say, it helps you to be in the know about things. When you're in the know, it's so much easier for you. If you agree with that.
I just wanted to point out, though, I think even we talk about housing and the boom, actually to note that the Housing and Planning Authority is actually one of our corporate sponsors, and we're very thankful for them, because I think the last few months we've really had a good relationship, and we've always had a good relationship. But I think even we sought to promote lesser use species, they really embraced it, and we were very happy that they took it on board and said, you know what, we like what you're offering, we like the idea, and we're gonna start using it in our projects, and we've really seen it take off, and then to go a step further now that they've come on board at the corporate level, so we're very, very pleased that they've done that. Also, ExxonMobil has come on as well, and of course we're very, very thankful that they see the benefits of promoting local timber and its use, and ensuring that the local people are really benefiting from it. I think we also have GenEquip that has come on at the corporate level as well to sponsor. Of course, there are a lot of machinery and so on that they're bringing, but they will also be there again demonstrating some of the products that they have to offer. So I really wanted to say thanks to our corporate sponsors for really, seeing what we're, understanding, because, I think unless they really saw the vision and caught that vision, they wouldn't really sort of, as they say, put your money where your mouth is in that sense. But they've come on board, and we're really thankful for them, because without them and making the impact they have, some of this would not have really been possible.
Yes, I think we also had R.L. Sukram on board.
Absolutely,
yes.
yeah. How could I forget that? My good friend, Mr. Sukram. Again, even though he's a sawmiller, again, one of the persons who've really seen the value in sort of investing into the local sector. And I think, even as he's continued to grow, he's like, we want to give back and make this possible. So because in him making a contribution there, it puts all this information to so many more people, and making all of this a reality. So I think, yes, so definitely thanks to Mr. Sukram for throwing in his lot as well at the corporate level.
Simone?
Well, Kenny said it all. But I just want to add that just in case there are persons visiting on visiting the expo and they need additional information in terms of GRA and our procedures and how we do business, how to download an application, that they could visit our website, and it's www.gra.gov.gy. So there are different links, and you have all the information there. They could use it, or they could call our telephone number is 227-6060 and ask to be connected to the tax advisory unit.
Well, and I know that, thank you for that, Simone. I know that in wrapping up, I must say that we do have a website, GuyanaForestEvents.com, www.GuyanaForestEvents.com. So that would just give you a sneak preview of what's all out there. At this time, we just want you to come out and to experience the what's out there in terms of value-added products, your flooring, your wall panels, your ceiling panels, your decking. It's all out there. So just put aside the time. You have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. At the gates, you'll see a nice layout of the area where you can navigate easily around. You can also at the gate find our featured events. Will be there, so that you can easily find the tents and see what you're really interested in. If you want to do a little training, if you want to just sit and listen and become more informed, remember, the more informed you are, the better the decision is in terms of your decision-making process. So coming out, it's the Guyana Timber Expo 2018. Tomorrow 18th to Sunday 20th. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you out there over the weekend.
Presenting Guyana Timber Expo 2018 from May 18th to 20th at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence, featuring exhibits from logs to lumber from top sawmillers, lumber yards, and exporters, plus a vast range of value-added forest products available from Guyana's top producers. You'll also hear presentations by private sector, government agencies, and educational institutions. Homeowners, contractors, engineers, exporters, students, architects, everyone. Don't miss Guyana Timber Expo 2018, May 18th to 20th. Admission is free, so see you there.
For years, we've grown accustomed to using Green Heart, Purple Heart, and Kamikali for building and general construction. Now it's time to get acquainted with the lesser used species of wood in Guyana that are just as strong and durable, and they cost less too. Fukadi, Dali, Wadara, Itibali, Fuchui, and Kurokai can be used for furniture, interior and exterior joinery, broomsticks, light carpentry, and plywood. Limona Bali, Buruda, Murabakia, and Suya can be used for heavy construction, posts, bridges, decking, and doors, while Darina, Dakamabali, Itikiboro-Bali, and Wamara are great for flooring boards, parquet tiles, and wall paneling. Contact the Forest Products Development and Marketing Council of Guyana, the Guyana Forestry Commission, and the Forest Producers Association for information on lesser used wood species, their uses, and costs before building.
Present presenting Guyana Timber Expo 2018 from May 18th to 20th at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence, featuring exhibits from logs to lumber from top sawmillers, lumber yards, and exporters, plus a vast range of value-added forest products available from Guyana's top producers. You'll also hear presentations by private sector, government agencies, and educational institutions. Homeowners, contractors, engineers, exporters, students, architects, everyone. Don't miss Guyana Timber Expo 2018, May 18th to 20th. Admission is free, so see you there.